Hello everyone, in this video we will be discussing about the project the sentiment analysis in WhatsApp that has been submitted as our TC in the course cybersecurity. So our project is sentiment analysis in WhatsApp that detects certain sentiments, certain emotions from the chat group of text and analyze it using certain machine learning models and train the model and provide the feedback that is nothing but emotions. So I'm going to be explaining you the code that is it contains of two parts. First one is main part and second one is the WhatsApp.py. So the main part is nothing but suppose it's an interface, just a graphical user interface. Then the WhatsApp.py is there, right? That is nothing but our backend part, which is actually responsible for the logic. So what it does is main PR.py from Tkinter. What Tkinter is nothing but a library from which we are going to develop a user interface and import web browser. Web browser is nothing but it's a library that is used to open a website or to read PDF file. Both you can do both. Then from Tkinter import message box. From the library Tkinter we are importing a function that is message box. Nothing but it is going to show a message layout if any message needs to be shown. Next one is we have imported subprocess, which is also a library that is responsible to connect two Python files. Suppose to run two Python files which is in the same directory. So this library is important and needed. So next going to the code, we have created a function named project, which is a local variable in which it is just showing a message box. The message box we have imported from Tkinter. In message box show info, title, project, message, sentiment analysis and WhatsApp. And CMD Python WhatsApp.py. This is nothing but it's gonna connect or it's gonna call the WhatsApp GUI file in the command and execute that parallelly. So we have created a C variable and in which we are opening the command and we are giving the user to open the service. So next one what we have created is we have created a function that is open GNU website that is nothing but local variable also which just opens the website using the web browser function .open function which was imported earlier and open the gnu.ac.in website. So next one is the user interface or the GUI instance details. We are initializing it. Next we have given it type as sentiment analysis and geometry 900 into 600, which is nothing but the frame size. Then configuration is nothing but the background color, the interface of our interface. Next, sentiment analysis image and button. We have created an image with the variable sentiment where it is in the file directory fix senti.image, which is in the format of PM. So whenever we are uploading the file in our user interface, we must be in the format of PNG. Next one is senti, which is a button function with the variable senti, which is inside the GUI with image senti. We are calling the image senti in this button to act as a button for that image. Next one we are placing that button. We are placing that button using .place label with at the x and y coordinates, that is 80 and 150. Then sentence equals label. We have created a label with the variable sentence inside the GUI with the text sentiment analysis in WhatsApp with some font, bold text, etc. that is used for styling. Then we have placed the sentence, that is label, which holds the label category in the place x equals 80 and y equals 20. In x-axis 80 and y equals 20. That is nothing but x equals length, y equals width. Then see is nothing but we have created a button function using the variable v inside it inside the GUI it contains the text CTF analysis command project. It is calling the function which has been mentioned earlier in the code. It is nothing but what it will do, it will run the process parallel, that is the WhatsApp.py file. Then we have saved styling for it. Then we have placed the button in particular axis, that is x-axis and y-axis 80-80. Then we have created a CM University image and button, which is another assignment given by us. So we have created a logo and which contains the photo image of our GM University logo. So it would act as a button. To act as a button, it's gonna be created using a variable GMU button, which is inside GUI, where it's gonna call the image GMU logo and command open GMU website. As mentioned earlier, it is a function which has been declared earlier, which would open the website of our solid using the web browser.open method that has been imported from web browser, and it has given some silence, and we have placed that button in particular action. Then GUI main loop is nothing but to close our interface. So this was our front end part. Now we are going to move to the back end part, that is the combination of our logic for sentiment analysis. So here is the chat file. For example, see, this is our chat, okay. So this contains literally 4,500 lines, that is nothing but text, and this text are in the format of characters. So all of this text, based on this text, the sentiment analysis will be done. Next comes the WhatsApp.py, the actual logic file of our project. So first we have imported certain libraries, NLTK, that is natural language toolkit, sentiment intensity analyzer, and we have imported Matplotlib for visualization of the converted data of sentiment analysis. So next one, we have created a function named WhatsApp file, in which we are just doing an exception to try a block of code and throw an error if it doesn't occur. So what it tries to do is it will try to open a file. If the file is not found in a particular location, then it will throw an exception that file not found at the particular path. Then we have created a function preprocess WhatsApp chat offline. What it does is it's gonna preprocess, that is clean the data, clean the text, whichever text is needed for our program is only accepted and others are not considered. See, what it does is line is greater than 20 and line 20 equals hyphen. What it means is I will consider chat text. See, chat text is there, right? So our text or chat only starts from after 23rd character. So before 23rd character, all of general information which is not needed for analysis. So those things are pre-processed by this function. Then sentiment is gonna return messages which has been initialized with empty link. Then we are gonna create a function to analyze the sentiment, where sentiment intensity analyzer is imported from NLTK Toolkit, and sentiment score equals initialize empty link. For messages and messages, creating a for loop in the messages. For every messages, it's gonna provide a corresponding sentiment score. A sentiment score, in example, is nothing but the sentiment analysis. The sentiment analysis is considered as a compound which provides a certain numerical values for consideration, such as 0.5 in the range of 0.5 to minus 0.5 is neutral. If it's above 0.05, then it is positive. If it's below negative 0.05, then it is negative. So this is the sentiment score. Based on this, the sentiment analysis is done. So it's going to return the sentiment score. Next thing is visualization. Visualization of our project. How it does plot sentiment of sentiment score. Plot sentiment is the function that's going to plot for the sentiment score. So this is nothing but our graph of sentiment analysis, and we have created a main function that's going to import the chat text file. It will just import the text file and this process the line. If lines, messages, everything, we are doing a if condition. If messages equals this process WhatsApp chat offline, sentiment score equals analyze sentiment messages, plot sentiment score. It's gonna, if this is true, if the file is found and the files have been read, then we are gonna plot the sentiment score. So this was our project. Now we are gonna show you the output part. This error. So this is our interface. Then what our interface is sentiment analysis in WhatsApp, and here the button for the CSR analysis. So it will open a message using that function. So access